Welcome to the fourth week. Topic 2: Infrastructure and equipment for the provision of the tourism services. Subtopic 2: Tourism infrastructure. Before we start talking about tourism infrastructure, it's very important that we define what does infrastructure mean. We can define it as the set of services and works that are needed for something to work correctly. In a city or a country, the notion of infrastructure refers to the public services needed by its inhabitants, designed and created by the state, which is also in charge of its maintenance. As you can figure out, infrastructure is built and designed to solve the needs of the inhabitants of a city or country, but it is also going to be used by the tourists. And only in some cases, infrastructure is specially designed to be used by the visitors. In both cases, we can call it tourism infrastructure, which can be defined as all those services that allow tourism resources, which are natural and cultural attractions, as well as the tourism plant, which are the operational sectors, to function properly. Tourism infrastructure can be from the public or private sector, and although they were not specifically designed to sell their services to tourists, they will give them the certainty that their destination they will visit will offer them guarantees of a good experience. In other words, they will make them feel safer when they travel. Tourism infrastructure can be classified into two groups: communications and services. Communications infrastructure is made up of all the highways, airports, ports, access roads to a destination, transportation, and telecommunications. Some of them are developed by the municipal, state, or federal governments, and others by private sector companies based on a special permission to operate. On the other hand, service infrastructure are all the basic services that people who live in a place need and that tourists will also use during their stays. These basic services are electricity, security, hospitals, sewerage, garbage collection, and so on. The tourist structure will need a mechanism that directs the correct and harmonious functioning of the entire tourist system. That mechanism would be the superstructure. As you can see in this scheme, the tourism system will need the infrastructure, which, as we already said, will allow the proper operation of the tourism activity, and the superstructure that, as we're going to see, will lead and regulate the tourism activity. We can define the tourist superstructure as the set of public and private institutions responsible for setting rules, promoting, and organizing tourism activity. Superstructure function is mainly to seek a harmonious balance between those who operate and sell tourist services, as well as the relationship that are generated between both and mainly with tourists. Tourism superstructure can be classified in governmental and non-governmental. Governmental superstructure is made up of all the organizations that belong to the government and set the state policy for the tourism industry. Non-governmental superstructure, on the other hand, is made up of the associations, chambers, and other institutions that belong to a private initiative. Here on the left side, you can see some examples of the governmental superstructure. As you can see, some of them are national institutions and some other are international institutions. Can you identify any of them? Very good. Now, on the right side, you can see some examples of the non-governmental superstructure. And also, some of them are national institutions, and some of them are international institutions. Can you identify any of them? Very good. Thank you for your attention, and remember that if you have any doubt, you can ask me using our Google Classroom. Have a nice day.